Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to the Power BI Pro Tips by Tejas. In the today's video, let us go ahead and see what exactly are Sparklines and how to make the best use of Sparklines in a Power BI report. So let's go ahead and straight away dive into the Power BI desktop and let us go ahead and open our Power BI report. Now, in my report, I once again have the financial data set where I have various segment information, country information, the product information, discount band, units sold, sales price, gross sales, and so on. In addition to that, I also have a standard date table where I consist of date field, year field, quarter number, month number, day of month, day end, month name, month and year, quarter and year. So I have all the aspects and all the fields that has to be present in a standard date table. Alright, now our first step in the report you should be to go ahead and create a table. Okay. Now let me go ahead and take the product and the sales data. Let me go ahead and take a matrix visual instead of a table visual. Let me go ahead and take a matrix visual. And the values I have already created. The total sales measure. The total sales is equivalent to sum of the sales field from a financial data set. So sum of sales is equivalent to total sales. So let me go ahead and pull that under values. Alright, now let us go ahead and change the table style to minimal. That's our next step. Okay, having done that, let us go ahead and increase the text size of column headers and values, and let us get rid of grand totals. Alright, the text values of column headers is equivalent to 16. Let me go ahead and try to use Arial font family instead. Okay, the text color as the dark blue, and I am aligning the header to center. And the values, let us once again go ahead and take Arial. Okay, let us make this 14. The text color dark blue, the text color dark blue. Now let us go ahead to the row headers and make sure that that is also large in its font. Okay, make sure that the entire table is even. None on this total over here. So let us go ahead and rid off those subtotals. Okay. Let us also get rid of grid lines. Alright. Now our next step is the focus towards the sparklines. Okay. Let us go to the field pane. Here I have product and I have total sales. Now we want to develop a sparkline by the aggregation of various sorts of date field. It could be sales by month, it could be sales by month and year, it could be sales by year. So our preference with respect to this data sets is either sales by month and year or else sales by month. We have January to December, 12 months in a year. So it would be month and year, right? So that's the reason. Let us go ahead and perform right click on total sales over here. Let us hover over to add a sparkline. Okay. So we need to summarize total sales on y-axis as we already have in the value section. Under direct axis, we need to select a corresponding date field. Instead of selecting date, I would be selecting month name here or else month and year. Okay. So our first preference is month name under x-axis. So now, if you go ahead and see, you would find the spark lines of total sales with respect to month. Okay, now let us go ahead and format these sparklines. Let us go to format. Over here, let us go to sparklines. Under sparklines, we have three options. One is sparkline, the chart type, the data color, the data width and marker. So I would you have two types of charter. You can either keep in line or column. Okay, recommendably I would be selecting line for this scenario. Okay, and the data color let it be blue as it is quite ideal. Data width I'll make it as 3, and under marker the type would be circular. That would be quite preferable. Let us deselect isolated. Rather we can select highest and lowest instead. And over here let us select dark blue so that it becomes easy for us to distinguish. See, alright. And if we increase the size, the size of the data points also increases. That's it. Okay. Now, one thing as a hint, we require aggregation of sales by month with respect to product. So we can make this particular arrangement in a smarter way, right? Say for example, why don't we get this particular spark line below the product name rather than beside the product? So we can beautify in the form of KPIs, all right? So in order to do that, let us go to format, and under values, we have an option of go to options. We have an option of switch values to rows. Okay. If I enable that, this is how the preview would be. So we have sales, and below that we have the Sparklines. All right. We have the Sparklines and we have the sales name, and we also want the products just below or else above these fields. Okay. Instead of here, we need to keep it here. That would make it more insightful. All right. So in order to do that, let us select the table again and go to the data set, and under values drag this product once again above the total sales. So we get it as first product. Now we have the product name over here. Okay. Now our next objective is to get rid of these fields as we don't require those anymore, because our focus is sales by month, the spark line, and the product. All right. Now if we go and try to collapse over here, it is not possible. All right. In order to collapse that window, we need to disable the text tab for column headers and the values. Okay. So let us go to format. Under column headers, let us go and disable the text tab. Okay. That would be one. And the next one is for values. Text tab is on, make it off. Now let us go ahead and disable. But yet, because we are yet left with the row headers, let us disable the text tab. Let us go ahead and check to column headers once again. Yeah, we are cool there. That's it. Did you see that? Now we were able to collapse that window and get rid of that. Now our next motive is to format this. Alright, in order to format that, let us go ahead to the Sparkline window, click on this visual, go to format, over the specify column, and then over here we have something called as text color and background color. We can play around over here as well, as that would be the most important step in order to beautify. Did you see that? Now we were able to beautify the product names, right? In addition to this, we also have an option of increasing or decreasing the row padding as well, so that we can get some space between the cells. We get the row padding option over here. After grid, we have options. We have something called as row padding over here. You can either, if you increase that, you get more space over here. Did you see that? And similarly, if you can increase the font size as well. Now, an additional hint to you. Say, for example, if you want an extra space after this particular spark line, we can go ahead and create a DAX called as blank row. Alright, blank row is equivalent to double quotes, a single space between that. We can go ahead and create that and then place it below the spark line measure, like sales by month, and below that you can place a blank row that will create some space between the cells. Okay, this is another pro tip to you guys. Okay, so this is it. We can make this particular Sparkline KPI as beautiful as possible in your Power BI reports. And in order to leverage this Sparkline to the next level, we can go ahead and try to insert the image over here. Since we do not have any images of these products like Camarilla, Carita, Montana over here, I have created a table consisting of various cars instead of products. Okay, I have created a table called as images where we have the name of the products, and I have taken the random images displaying various car images. All right, so we can go ahead and drag that over here. Okay, so let us go ahead and drag the image URL just below the blank row. Having done that, you can go ahead and click on that image URL, and under data category, make sure that you're selecting as image URL. Okay, and under format, make sure that you're making it center aligned. Let us go to specific column, first image URL, make the alignment as center. This is it. Now, did you see that how nicely we have converted a raw table into a Sparkline based KPI? So we have a product name, we have sales by month information, we have a Sparkline, and we also have images. So that this is it for the current topic, guys. This is it. So make sure that you practice. And the data set I have given you in the description box below. Alright guys, make sure that you subscribe to the channel guys so that you do not miss me out in the future videos. Till then, happy analyzing and take care guys.